I know from personal experience, this is just my N of one, but I've heard lots of people repeat this. The newer iPhones, right? So anything beyond an iPhone 11 has a lot of flicker on it relative to your MacBook. So the MacBook flickers much more quickly than your iPhone. But in this case, the MacBook is actually easier on your eyes because the more it flickers, the faster it flickers.
Even though the screen is larger.
Even though the screen is larger, it flickers so fast that we perceive it as constant light.
Yeah.
The iPhone flickers much more slowly, and that, like, there's certain frequencies of flicker that are very disruptive to us. I know that if I look at my phone for, more than a few minutes before I go to sleep, it may affect how easily I'm going to fall asleep.
For sure.
And that's even if I take the blue light out of my phone with this, like, you can change the color spectrum on your phone. You can make it orange and red, but it's still flickering.
Still does it.
And some of us are very sensitive to this. I mean, you can walk into banks or other places and you just think, oh, I hate this light. It just feels horrible.
I've become so averse to fluorescent light now. And it's painful. I hate staring at my phone. And so I know millennials get made fun of this, but I will use my laptop over my phone any day for a task that takes longer than a couple of minutes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And ideally outside while I'm on my laptop.
Yeah. And so the other solution you can do is you can go back to an iPhone 11. So I have an iPhone, it's not as good as your MacBook, but
yeah.
I had a friend on my podcast and he was telling me this. His name's Tristan Scott, that the older iPhones, the iPhone 11 has a different pulse width distribution that gets pretty technical, but it doesn't flicker as much as the newer ones. It still flickers more than a MacBook, but anyway, it's just like when you go into these environments, you can almost viscerally sense you either get a headache or you feel stressed or you just feel like, I don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
We know that at the extremes, some people are sensitive to flickering light, and that's how we induce seizures in Western medicine, that some of these either music videos or clubs, anywhere that there's really strong flickering light, people that are sensitive to that, these establishments or some videos have to warn people this may cause a seizure.
Wow.
So at some level, flickering light can be so disruptive to some people's nervous system that they will actually have a seizure neurologically. So the flicker is something that I don't think many people are aware of, but it's very disruptive.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole blue light thing, right? That you go indoors, whether it's LED or fluorescent, it's very enriched in blue light. And this is the problem with computers and all the screens we look at, even the MacBooks, right? You can look at the spectrum visually and there's this big spike in blue. And what we know about blue light, and this is all different wavelengths, right? So the wavelength of red light is different than the wavelength of blue light or green light and yellow. When we see a light, it's the wavelength that determines the color we perceive. And if we're looking out here, for instance, if we're looking at plants and we see green, those plants are reflecting that green back to us. So they're reflecting light at a green wavelength back to us. If you have a light emitting diode, an LED, it's actually producing a green light or a red light or a blue light at a certain wavelength. And historically, like so many things, like the food we eat, like the things we put on our skin, this is what humans are used to, right? A full spectrum light, not a light that is enriched in blue. Blue light on its own is not bad for us. Blue light in the morning is part of what wakes us up and entrains this circadian rhythm. But like so many things, if we imbalance it and we create an environment indoors where we have extra enriched blue light, that can be harmful. There's evidence that it's potentially stressful to our bodies in so many ways. The level of our eye, maybe blue light is contributing to macular degeneration in some people. We're looking at screens all day. You are dosing your biology, your tissues, your skin, your eyes with too much of something. So the strategies are to lower the blue light indoors, to use incandescent bulbs, to go outside, to use blue blocking glasses, which we can do at night, because we know that blue light at night can be particularly disruptive to our circadian rhythm because there is no blue light after dark, right? And that's what our body expects, and that has to do with melatonin production. Or we can sometimes try and counter it with red because, interestingly enough, other wavelengths don't appear to be as harmful to the human body. But there's a lot of people that feel that this enrichment of blue light in our environments is very harmful for us. And so the simple solution is think about your environment when you are indoors.